how's your evening going?
Not too bad. How about you guys? Oh, you guys have a drink? I don't have a drink.
Do you want to go get one? Probably
What
going to need
we
it.
could pour you one, but
Yes, pour me one, send it over.
Done. We do a fair amount of drinking on this podcast.
Oh, I like it. It's my kind of podcast.
Hell yes. You got a volume control on that thing?
it says here, what does it say? It says Lisa has Riverside open in other tabs. Ask Lisa to close all other browser tabs and open with Riverside.
There. Did that go away?
Looks like it.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know. I had a
Looks
hard
good.
time getting this all going.
Yeah, I don't know. I was testing it out on my phone. I clicked all the links and I had downloaded the app, and on my phone it was just like bam, bam, bam. It was pretty quick, but you're on a laptop, right? So
Yeah, it's a little bit of an
Might be
archaic
more steps.
laptop as well.
So, this is our episode 10.
Ooh.
Woo! Episode 10 of talking about this, that, and everything else.
pretty much that's what we've been doing. Just shooting the shit and sweeping up old ideas and
Sweet.
dabbling a little bit into the main theme of the night, which is the horror movies and Halloween-based shenanigans.
All right.
Which is something you're into, apparently.
I'm huge into horror. Yeah, like huge into horror. So this is right up my alley.
Awesome. So what? So tell us why? What got you into the horror stuff?
Well, I've been watching horror movies since I was 3. Not recommended for all, but my dad used to watch them
3.
all the time when I was a kid. So, that was like our bonding time. He would just sit me down on the couch, babysit me while watching Jason, Freddy Krueger. So I became really desensitized, probably by the time I was 4 or 5. And they became my go-to movies, which, my family worried about me except for my father. Everybody else was a little concerned because I would go to sleep watching Friday the 13th.
Perfect.
Did
My parents did the same to me when I was young. Took me out to see Amityville Horror in the theaters on New Year's Eve.
Whew.
The original Night of the Living Dead, brought that home one day and let us watch all that when I was a kid.
Quality.
Even when they were babysitting my kids when they were young, maybe 4 or whatever, they showed them It and Jaws.
And they all survived.
So-
We all survived.
Yeah, the middle-aged son, he's terrified of all the Halloween horror movie stuff.
Oh.
But my youngest guy, he loves it.
My son's not.
Actually, so much so, we're going. He lives up in Sudbury, so we're going up to Sudbury next weekend for a Halloween party at his place.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so and his birthday is November 1st, so we're bringing up a birthday gift for him.
Oh. What do you got?
We got him a life-size Annabelle doll.
Oh, God.
That's awesome. I went as
It is
Annabelle last
awesome.
year for Halloween. I guess I'm a life-size
Oh, nice.
Annabelle doll.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm
yeah,
going to
he's
give
gonna
myself to anyone.
shit his pants when he opens it. It's gonna be great.
So, Lisa, you and I have discussed a couple of times. You have a yearly event every Halloween that you do. Tell us about the history of that, because I got to tell you, I'm jealous, and I think we should start doing this as well. Tell us about your event.
So, my best friend and I, we feel the same about horror movies. So, every Halloween we would get together and we could never watch enough movies. And time went by so fast and we can't spend every day together. So, we decided to make an event every single year called Horror Palooza. And basically
Nice.
we take a whole day off and we day drink, and we make tons of food, and we watch horror movies from basically 10 a.m. till when we pass out.
Wow.
Every
That's
year
what I'm
it's
saying.
something
That's something-
different. We usually start with two kind of our favorites, which is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, because it's cheesy and
Classic.
right?
Yeah.
And Trick or Treat.
Oh.
You know, I've never seen Trick or Treat.
You haven't?
But
It's
I hear
great.
it's good.
You need to watch it.
Is it an anthology movie?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a cult
I think
classic
there's a new
now.
one coming out this year.
It's like different segments, right?
It's all different segments, but they're tied together.
Okay.
Like, it's a well-knitted
So-
story. So every year we kind of pick something different other than those two. I decorate the whole entire basement, make it all spooky, and we have been doing that for 7 years now. It's a great
Wow,
tradition.
that's crazy.
That's awesome. What did you bring in some new blood this year? What was the new blood?
The new blood was Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe.
How was that?
You know, not bad. Exorcist movies can be tricky to execute, but you know, Russell Crowe's such a good actor, and the child actor who was possessed in this movie did really, really well. And it has bits of comedy to it, so if you guys haven't watched it, I do recommend it. I mean, it gets a little kitschy at times, but you know.
It's on the list for me for sure.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I do like Russell Crowe. I love it. You ever
He
seen
was
Unhinged?
great in it.
Yes.
I loved Unhinged. It wasn't a horror movie. Actually, is it a horror movie? Is that a horror movie? Would you say Unhinged? Have you seen Unhinged, Lisa?
I have. I'd say it's more of like a thriller.
Yeah, it's more of a thriller. I mean, there are some scenes in it that are downright disturbing, like when he's killing the son's girlfriend or something. That was messed up.
Yeah.
It has him tied to the chair and sets him on fire. I was like, what the hell? What's going on in this movie?
That's almost like gore. Like, I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of gore, believe it or not. I'm more of a horror fan than a gore fan. Like, I don't like Hostel. After a while, Saw gets a little bit much, or The Collector. I'll watch them, but I don't even like Texas Chainsaw Massacre much.
Yeah, no, that's. Yeah. I like to be psychologically scared, not grossed out, or like intensely disturbed, which we were talking about some stuff earlier. Like, there's movies that are so disturbing, I don't want to watch them, but I'm curious about them.
Like torture
So I
porn.
Read about them or watch like clips.
Yeah. What would you consider to be that if there was a movie? Like, what would you consider to be too much?
Well, if you want to go into the really dark territory, Martyrs is one I mentioned. I don't know if you've ever seen Martyrs.
No.
The House That Jack Built.
I've seen
I would never watch that fucking movie.
I've seen like commercials for it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, trust me. As a mother of a son, you would never want to watch that fucking movie.
Okay, I'll pass.
Ever. Yeah, definite pass. I made the mistake of watching like a synopsis of what happens in it, and I'm scarred from that. I won't name the really, really dark stuff, but there's a bunch of other shit. There's like the really messed up, low budget but high gore, campy movies that are just like, I can't even believe they got made. They're so twisted. Not into that. Like, Saw is
Yeah.
about as fucked up as I'll get. And I haven't watched the new one, but I've heard Saw X is like the best one since the first one.
I have heard that.
So
I heard
I
it's
do
pretty
want to watch
good.
that. Yeah.
Like,
I'm a big fan of the Jigsaw character. I don't much love the direction some of it took, but the character of John Kramer, the backstory, I love all that stuff. Like, killing him in the third movie was the biggest mistake they could have made, but they found a way to bring him back every single time.
I've met that guy. He's interesting.
Seems like an interesting guy.
Yeah, he's I don't know whether he was trying to be like his character when I met him, but it was he still has that creepiness about him.
Yeah, I figured he would be a guy that's just kind of what he's like. Tobin Bell, right?
Tobin Bell, yeah.
Yeah. So you've met actually a lot of industry professionals in horror and television. Who would you say was the creepiest?
Creepiest?
Don't say Biscuit.
Damn it, I was gonna. No, I'm kidding. I'm trying to think creepiest. I wouldn't say anybody's been creepy. I would say people are kooky. I've met a lot of kooky people.
Okay, who's kooky?
What's his name that plays Ash from The Evil Dead?
Oh,
Bruce,
Bruce
Campbell.
Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce
Campbell. So I did a photo op with him, and I also like chatted with him a bit. He's a very kooky character. That one.
Now, is he kooky in the way that he's kind of being like Ash, or is he just
Yeah, like
generally
it's like
strange
his
all the time?
mind. He's constantly like trying to direct you in things. Like I think he does a fair amount of directing as well. So when we were doing our photo op, he's like, I'm gonna put you here, and I'm gonna put you right here, and he was like trying to pose us. Some people said he was kind of a dick. I didn't find him to be that way, but sometimes people don't know how to approach like creative people. They take it the wrong way, but it's just they see things a lot differently. So I would say he was pretty kooky, and I met Robert Englund that played Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What a nice guy. Like, so nice. Went out of his way, professional, just lovely person, actually. I met him at a bar, randomly.
Wow. He seems like he seems like a nice guy considering he kills people in their sleep, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather meet him than some of the guys that have played Michael Myers. That's for sure.
Okay. So first of all, how did you get hooked up with Chris and Biscuit here?
Well, I went to the premiere of Those Who Remain with my friend who's in it. And I met these guys, and quite honestly, we clicked just like that. And
Cool.
I just wanted to be around them more. And, you know, I wish that things went further with Chris. I never actually got to do anything. I think just an audition. But, you know, extenuating
close.
circumstances.
This close.
This close.
Yes,
We were
my
close.
Flintlock character got left on the floor too. So
Yeah,
I
you
know.
guys sadly have that in common.
We need another project.
But-
I would love for Chris to come back, and it would be fun if we could all work together, honestly.
we're working on them. We're close to actually getting them to kind of revive the story, but a little bit different, twist it around a little bit.
I'm doing a lot of world building right now, and then it's just a matter of sitting down and being like, hey, okay, here's all the ideas I came up with, and then going, let's take these three and just dump all this shit on the floor. There we
You're
go.
on the
That's
cutting
the
room
show.
floor, Biscuit.
Well, you got to come up with 1,000 ideas so that 5 of them can be approved.
Hey, true, very true.
Yeah.
I just recently recut the whole first scene I did as Biscuit and made it way more menacing. I haven't shown it to you yet, but I'll send that over to you because I think you'd appreciate it. But no, I was saying this close because the weekend. Do you remember that week when things were with Chris were declining and we kept telling him go to the hospital, go to the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And we were supposed to film that weekend.
Yeah.
I was supposed to film with Lisa. We were supposed to
Right.
do a big action scene out in the woods where it's like a flashback of the two of us as like we've both been in the wasteland for a short period of time, and we end up getting attacked by the same squad and having to kind of work together to fight our way out. So it was going to be
Epic.
very little dialogue and a whole lot of killing.
It would have been epic.
It would have been great, but it just and then after that, that's when the show kind of Chris was like, okay, I'm done. Yeah.
I'm just glad he's
But,
okay, you know, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's what's important, right?
But I would love, like, I know we spit back and forth, but It would be awesome to do like a horror inspired just short. Like,
Yeah.
I'm all over that shit. I would love it.
It's just a matter of writing something that we can easily film and
Well, we're
with
all
very little
demented. We
cost
can figure
and-
this shit out.
It's true.
I personally think instead of doing a big storyline like that, where it's hard to coordinate people week after week, month after month, is to do a bunch of little shorts like that, like kind of really horror-like, mind-twisted little short stories.
Like
you know?
anthologies. We can do like
I think
anthology
that's where you
series.
should focus everything.
Yeah, an
into,
anthology
right?
type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd
So
be cool.
if we wrote something and we were going to film it at Doug's house, and it was going to be a short 5-minute thing, would you be willing to come out here to make it? It's like a 1-day shoot.
I would. You know what I'm like when it comes to driving, but I would. It's amazing. This person that watches
get
all these
Melissa to
horror
bring you.
movies is scared of fucking driving. I've watched too many. I'm
Well, we
scared
all
of
have our
flying. I'm
fears.
scared of driving. I'm scared of roller coasters. So basically, I'm scared of everything Final Destination has covered thus far.
Yeah, no shit.
There could
That
be a
checks
reason
out.
for this.
Yeah, something there. Something's telling you.
True. Would you be able to face your fears to come out here and be a part of something that probably will get 30 or 40 views on YouTube?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as there's no log trucks, I'm there, man. I'm there.
Well, yeah, there's
Well,
the
there's no
occasional
what?
There's the occasional log truck around here, but I haven't seen any this year, except for
I
the
think
ones.
they've wrapped up all the logging around here.
Except for all the ones I saw on my street because of all the logging that was happening across the street from me. But yeah, for the most
yeah,
part, there's
see?
no log trucks or. Yeah, the worst thing we have out here is Doug.
Oh, that's fine. I
Yeah.
can handle that.
He
And,
won't.
and I'll chase people through the hills of Moonstone.
Yeah, he
from
will.
Largo.
I don't know if I ever told you that story. I bring it up a lot.
No, I don't
The
think
first
so.
time I met Doug, not the first, the first day I met Doug, I made the mistake of pointing a prop gun at him, and he basically threatened to hunt my character through the hills of Moonstone. That's still one of my favorite quotes. Well, I got my own guns. I got to make you a shirt of just you that serious look you had on your face. Well, I've got my own guns.
And then became a beautiful friendship.
It did.
Yeah.
I've talked about doing a podcast and Nat's been like, you should do a podcast. And I'm like, I need someone to make it easy for me where I just show up. And there was Doug.
Here we are.
Because I'm a lazy
Now we got
ass.
the double
in the cellar.
D's.
We got the double D. DDL tonight. Thanks for joining
Well, I'm
us.
honored to be a guest. This is my first podcast appearance. So,
And it'll be your fucking last. Because you'll start your own podcast and then we'll come on yours.
oh, sweet.
So you've been, yeah. So you've been doing all these photos with all these actors and stuff from all these movies. Where do you go to like
Comic-Con?
yeah, something to that effect?
That's what you're looking for. That's where the superhero people go, Doug.
Well, that's the DC Marvel shit.
Yeah.
Doug doesn't like superheroes.
Yeah, I've been
Run
to a
into
lot
that.
of different Comic Cons and conventions. It actually started a lot with the. I think I went to Fan Expo a few times before I went to the States. I met Stan Lee. That was initially what brought me to conventions, was meeting Stan Lee. And I had the best experience with him.
Yes.
And after
Do you
that,
know who Stan Lee is? Okay, just making sure.
if not, you gotta go, man. No, I'm kidding.
I do know who he is. Yes.
So after that, I kind of got addicted, and I was a huge fan of The Walking Dead. So I ended up going to Atlanta, where they do the filming and everything, and I met pretty much the whole entire cast, and I actually became friends with a lot of people on the cast. So
Wow.
some of us still keep in touch to this day, and I just got to know everybody so well that every time I came around, I was like, oh, it's Lisa, hi. Like,
So you went down to Atlanta where they were filming, and just it was like a meet and greet type of thing.
Yeah, so basically there was a whole entire convention based around Walking Dead, but you could go and visit the sets and all that. I wouldn't bug the actors around there, but you can go meet them at a convention.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of what started it all, and I'm in acting as well, so I'm very comfortable around fellow actors, so I just kind of got to know them, and it was really nice to do all that.
So so obviously you've watched the whole, what was it, 10 seasons?
Was it?
Uh,
Did it end at 8 or 9?
No, it was like 10.
Was it
or
10?
maybe 11?
I'm kind of a bad fan.
Well, they kind of at the end they kind of split seasons. They were doing
Yeah.
like. Did you watch the whole thing, The Walking Dead?
No, I think it kind of lost its footing after a while.
Right.
So maybe I'm a bad fan.
when'd you bail out?
What was the moment that killed it for you?
When they killed Carl.
I think I know what it is, but I'm interested.
When they killed Carl.
Oh yeah, that was a dark moment. I was gonna say the bridge.
Well, I mean,
You were like, "Fuck it, I'm out."
I mean, Andy going was probably like, that's it. I'm out completely. But I kind of checked out when they did that, and they drastically changed the story so much. I mean, I'm an avid fan of the comic book, like the graphic novel, and
Yeah.
they did it so well. I really wanted them to stick on script, but I mean, it's TV, and they never do. But that was so disappointing, and they were trying to elevate Negan way too much. And don't get me wrong, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life, which is why I think he's lasted so long. But they didn't need to kill Carl to elevate his character, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Negan is one of the characters that they've asked the audience to forgive way too much. It's like,
Yeah, no,
he did
we're not
some
forgiving you,
shit
dude.
that's too damning, and a lot of shows do that. They'll take a character and they do some heinous shit, and then they become popular, and they get the audience to like basically forgive that stuff for the popularity of the character, and it's like, but no, that's fucked up.
Sorry, I'll send you a little sorry card for bashing in two people's heads.
Yeah, and turning a bunch of women into sex slaves in your compound.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty fucked up.
Any other place in the modern world, cancel culture would be huge, but not here.
No, because Jeffrey
This
Dean
is
Morgan's
redeemable.
handsome.
So any of the runoff shows, if you watch any of the Fear or the Negan and the new one that's out,
The Negan and Maggie.
Dead City.
There's three.
Or
There's three of them.
Daryl.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 spinoffs.
I watched a little bit of Norman's, like the Daryl spinoff. It was pretty good. It was neat to see it in a different place. Like they were filming in Paris. And then I will watch Andy's spinoff with Rick and Michonne because I loved their story and I want to see it continued. So
And when's that one coming out?
they just said
Soon?
2024, so I'm not too sure. They were done filming not like quite a bit ago. But I don't know.
Right.
It's 6 years kind of too late. But I'll
Overdue.
still watch it because I really, really love their story.
Right. So
Can you guys still see me? Because I can't see you.
Yeah, so sometimes the video records low quality, but it downloads to the computer. When it downloads, it'll upload like a good quality after. So
Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
so when
So when we're
you shifting in and out,
yeah,
but when the video comes,
it'll be crystal clear.
it'll be smooth. We went through the same thing with Chris.
Oh, okay.
At one point, he left the room and we had no idea.
Oh,
Actually, up in the top of your screen, it'll say it's uploading or whatever. When we're done, just don't close your browser until that's finished uploading.
oh, okay, no problem.
Because it's uploading the video from your computer up to the website, which is going to be high quality.
Yeah, if we don't have your video, it'll look like it's just the two of us talking to nothingness, and people will think we're more crazy than they already do.
People think we're just doing what we normally do.
There's a couple of nut jobs.
Talk about fuck all drinking.
Well, that's what you got to do. That's what the Double D podcast is all about.
So, what
Oh,
would you
now you
pick,
guys are
Game
back.
of Thrones
Hello.
or The Walking Dead? If you can only watch one.
Oh. Can we not include the last season of Game of Thrones, or do we have to put that in?
The last couple of seasons of The Walking Dead and the last season of Game of Thrones, we won't include those.
We won't include those?
Let's say the first 4 seasons. Which
That's
show would you
hard,
want to rewatch
guys.
the first 4 seasons?
Man, if they heard me, I'd have to say The Walking Dead, but I did love Game of Thrones. That's tough, man. Probably Walking
I
Dead.
got to warn you, Andrew Lincoln watches this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's popular.
careful. Norman Reedus fucking hates us though. I mentioned Pandorum a couple podcasts ago, and I didn't mention he was in it, and he got pissed.
Oh.
So
I've known Andrew since Love Actually, so.
Oh yeah. Back
to me,
in
you're
the day.
perfect, Doug.
No, I would say probably Walking Dead because the first couple of seasons were amazing. So, I mean, upon rewatch, man, I miss how it used to be. It kept you on the edge
Right.
of your seat. It really did.
yeah,
What if that had something to do with, because they changed directors after a few seasons and they brought in new directors that kind of took it in their own path.
Yeah, they had Frank
Yeah.
Right.
Darabont.
Tried to put their own fingerprint on it. And
Yeah,
they also tanked the budget in the second season.
Hey, but I like the
'Cause the
second
second
season.
season-
I actually don't mind it.
I liked the second season too. It felt like they were on the farm and they didn't get to the farm early enough, and they were on the farm for a long time. But it's because the budget got tanked AMC used all their money for another show, and I think it was for Breaking Bad, or I'm not sure which show it was. They put a huge amount of money into. It might have been Hell on Wheels. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
Breaking
I'd
Bad's
have to
AMC
look it
as
up.
well, so I could see that.
Yeah, and excuse me, a lot of people complain about season 2 of The Walking Dead, but it's because they had no money. That's why there was sometimes only one walker in each episode. Like it wasn't until the last episode when the farm gets attacked, or the episode where where
Shane?
Otis and Shane go to
the school.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
Yeah.
That was again a big budget episode, but they didn't have the money to do that a lot.
No.
Yeah, and then you watch the prison season, and you could see that the money was there.
The guy that played Otis, Pruis.
I love him. He's a great actor.
So he was on set of Heroes Reborn. I met
Oh.
him there on that set.
What's he like?
He's kind of a quiet guy. He's a lot smaller than I thought.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
guy.
Huh?
Is this the little guy?
Yeah, his stature and everything's a lot smaller and everything, but
Yeah, he's a great actor. He always kind of plays an awkward,
yeah.
shy, quiet guy, or a scary creep, but great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved him in Identity.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a huge amount of screen time, but really good work on that.
So you do a lot of acting, and you do what have you done?
That's the question
What
I
are the-
always really dread is what have you done? I haven't done a whole lot, let's just say that, but I've been acting and practicing and doing plays and auditioning for
Yeah.
a long time. So at the moment I'm taking a bit of a break till January, and then I'm hoping to be back to auditioning. And then I'm just waiting. It's a waiting game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Don't feel
Been
like
there,
you're
done it.
Don't feel like you're
I've
out
loved
of your
it.
league here right now, because I played Biscuit for 2 minutes. Doug was an extra in Dawn of the Dead remake, and what was the other one? Heroes Reborn.
Heroes Reborn. I was in Beauty and the Beast. A couple other things.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
So you're not. Don't worry. There's no contenders for any
But nothing.
Oscars here.
But nothing. I mean, everything. No speaking parts. Everything. The biggest part I had was in Heroes Reborn, where it was a recurring background character.
But you know what?
My biggest part was when I said, Pandora, man!
But you know what?
No.
Being an actor is more than just even having speaking parts. You know, you show up, you put yourself out there. You know, it's as long as you're having fun
Get
in what you're
sunburnt.
doing and you're
Yeah.
practicing and you're liking it, then that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
If
what
you
I
could
continue.
play-
I've always wanted to do that since I was young. And yeah, now I'm actually giving it a better go now that I'm older. Probably should have done it a long time ago. But now that I'm older and a lot more confident, you know, it's I can probably put a better foot forward.
If you could play any character in like a reboot of a show you really liked, what would you want to
Well, I don't know.
play?
Chris has already signed me up to do Xena, so
Oh, that's true.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
I'm supposed to be Gabriella. I just
Yeah.
gotta
yeah,
wig.
you would make a
Figure out
pretty,
the wig
very
and learn how to
pretty
fight with a bow
Gabriella. I
staff.
love that. Character in a show. I was gonna say character in a movie would probably be Resident Evil.
You'd want to be Alice?
Yep. Always freaking loved Alice. Just such a kick-ass role
Yeah.
to have, you know.
Yeah.
And Laura Croft would be fun.
That would be fun. Now, would you want to be like cheesy Lara Croft or like, cheesy Angelina Jolie or slightly
Oh,
more
I thought you meant
grounded
like 2D
remake?
computer, like weird square boobs, or like
Yeah, triangle boobs. Why not?
triangle boobs. I would want to be like.
Those would be
I
the
would
double
wanna
P's,
reinvent
not the
it,
double
make
B's.
it kick
B's,
ass.
C's. How about you, Dougie? If you could play a remade character, I'm gonna say what's his name? I always forget his damn name. The guy from True Grit.
Rooster Cockburn?
Rooster Cockburn.
Oh yes.
Is it Cockburn or Coburn?
I don't know.
It's Rooster. I know his name's
Yeah,
Rooster.
Rooster.
Fill your hands, you son of a bitch. That'd be a good one.
Oh.
I'll
Interesting.
always want to be the Punisher.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one.
'Cause essentially, that's what Biscuit is. He's a older, overweight, slightly out of shape Punisher.
So, who played the Punisher last? Shane.
Shane
What's his
played
name?
the Punisher.
From The
John
Walking Dead.
Berthnell.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a good Punisher. It's just the second season did not need to be 13 episodes, and I feel like they just stretched it out too long. It would have been a perfect, like, tight 8-episode show. I don't know why they did 13. For the life of me.
No.
He's got a crazy story on his when he went to acting school and everything, and his coming up, and he actually went over to Russia, to Moscow, to acting school and stuff.
Really?
And yeah, he's got a podcast. I think he tells the story on his podcast.
He does.
but
He
it's-
talks to
it's
Shia LaBeouf
crazy.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good friends from that movie
From
they did,
Fury.
right?
I love Fury. He was so good in that, too.
But his story of him coming up as an actor and what he did and everything is crazy.
Did you ever hear the story about how he almost killed a guy in a street fight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he tells that story in it. Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
what kind of
changed his
yeah.
because he had just gotten the role for The Walking Dead and he
Yeah.
almost screwed it up.
Yeah. Or did he get it just after that?
I think he had just gotten it, but hadn't done any shooting or something.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the exact story, but yeah,
Yeah, he was out on the street and some guy
he
was
was walking his dog.
walking his dog and some guy was bugging this girl and he told the guy to basically fuck off, leave her alone. The guy got in his face and he just cold cock cracked this guy in the face and the guy fell head first into a curb and like basically crushed his skull. And the police came and arrested him for assault and they basically told him like this guy's in critical condition. If he dies, you're going away. And he's sitting there in the lockup, like praying and basically saying, like get me out of this and I'll change my life. I'll turn my shit around. And the guy ended up living, and he got a self-defense. He didn't do any jail time. And shortly after that, he got the role of Shane, and
Wow.
started out on The Walking
I
Dead.
didn't know that actually.
Well, if you look it up, there's there's a lot of clips. I think he was talking to Shia LaBeouf about it. And yeah, he told no wait, it wasn't Shia LaBeouf. It was somebody else. I don't know, but look, yeah, just look up his name and
Yeah, I'm going to. I met him as well. He's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
yeah.
But that's crazy, huh?
Well, everyone's got a story, right?
It's like the beginning of Con Air with Nicolas Cage.
Hello.
Remember when
I don't care what anyone says. I fucking love Con Air.
I love Con Air. I showed it to my son. He loves Con Air.
It's like Con Air has the same level of cheese as like a Fast and Furious movie. And those movies,
it's
they've
great,
made
except
10
there's-
of those fucking things with a spin-off. But it's... have you ever seen the director's cut of Con Air?
No, I haven't actually.
It's a little different. There's a couple of little extra bits, but it was pretty good. But
Does he
I love
put the
Nicolas
bunny
Cage.
back
We've
in the
talked about
box in
Nicolas
the
Cage.
director's cut?
Any what? Sorry,
Does he put the bunny back in the box in the director's cut?
I don't know if he puts the bunny back in the box, but there's this great scene they cut out when the guy's holding Dave Chappelle at gunpoint,
Yeah.
and he's saying he's gonna kill him, and Cyrus the Virus says something really racially insensitive, and Dave Chappelle's just like, "Suck my dick, Cyrus."
They should have kept that.
And I was like, why would they cut that out of the film? It's so funny.
They should have kept that.
Well, there's a whole bunch of little bits they should have kept, but yeah.
It needed more
love me
Steve
the,
Buscemi
over the top.
in that movie.
We're gonna do another one?
Sure, if you want some more.
Fucking man, why not? Double D's. Double dipping.
You only got a 2-minute drive.
Well, I'm walking home, Doug.
There you go.
I'm still waiting for that to
5-minute
come
walk.
through the screen. You know, one day.
It's loading. We're on.
It's loaded.
It's buffering. It's buffering right
It's
now.
got to go up the satellite.
We got Starlink, but even Starlink, it takes a while to load the whiskey.
Oh, you're getting every last drop.
That's how we do. That's how we got to do.
There's a whole story of Screwball inside.
There is?
It's inside, though.
Oh, what the hell? Hold on, I gotta use my reading glasses here. We didn't just create peanut butter whiskey, we perfected it.
That's peanut butter whiskey?
Because there's so many different kinds of peanut butter whiskey.
Ooh,
Peanut butter whiskey, Screwball.
that sounds
Apparently it's a
amazing.
thing, yeah.
Good. It is. It's too amazing.
It's actually really good. I would say episode 20 we should kill a whole bottle of this.
The whole bottle is dead.
Let's skip to
So
the end.
guys, what's
Typical
your favorite
the-
horror movie? Like, between the two
My-
of you, what's your favorite horror movie?
Ah.
Favorite? Ooh.
Favorite. I know that's a loaded question, but if you had to pick a top,
Yeah.
if you had to be a top,
Now, Doug usually needs a.
It's right in front of your TikTok.
I know, I did it on purpose. It's like, hey, here you go, you fuckers. My favorite horror movie. Aliens isn't a horror movie.
no.
Technically, that's close. That's like my favorite sci-fi action. Technically horror, but not quite. My favorite horror movie. Shit. I know as a kid it was Friday the 13th Part 6. Because I watched it so many times.
Why 6 specifically?
I think because it was the first time they really made Jason... Jason Voorhees became what he was meant to be. Like, he was undead. It was no longer a matter of it was a human killer that somehow always survived. He was dead and he came back to life. He was a rotting corpse going around slaughtering people. And that's what we know Jason as.
Oh, I like that.
Like, there's... Like, people don't always think of, oh, no, it was never Jason, it was his mother. Or, oh, it was a paramedic whose son got killed in, what was it, Part 2 or Part 3. No, Friday the 13th, Part 6, he came back from the dead, he was a rotten corpse, and he went around and fucking killed people. So it was like, the genre, or the franchise found its foot in the 6th installment.
All right.
So that, again, when I was a kid, that's the one I watched so many times. I don't know if that's my favorite, but I'm going to let Doug answer so that I can think of a better answer.
So I got a bit of a background to this one. So when I was
Okay.
8 or 9 or 10, my dad used to go to the library in Scarborough, Albert Campbell Library. And this was before Blockbuster and VHS and all that kind of stuff. And he'd sign out a reel-to-reel projector
Ooh.
and movies. And you can get the movies and thread it through the projector and everything. He'd bring it home on weekends on a Friday, a couple of movies he'd get from the library. We'd set up a screen in our backyard on our patio, and we'd watch movies. This one time he brought home George A. Romero's The Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yes.
The original black and white one. And we sat out there, it was dark, and we watched this thing. And it scared the shit out of us. My oldest brother is 11 years older than me. He was out working, a summer job. And we all went to bed, and he came home. And he thought, I wonder what movies they got. So he went out there and put it on by himself. He only got like maybe half hour into it and had to turn it off.
Oh,
From
really?
the bed. So and that one got me stuck on zombies and horror movies and everything else. So definitely The Night of the Living Dead, the original one.
That's a good memory, too.
But
like a really good memory.
Oh, it's awesome, yeah. And then if something more modern would probably be like the franchise of The Conjuring.
Yeah,
Those
I agree
movies.
with you on that one.
Even the I know the Insidious ones aren't a part of The Conjuring, but they're just as creepy and good.
I like the first one. I never saw any of the other ones, but I really like the first Insidious.
Like a
But
James
definitely,
Wan
we just
type
watched
web.
The Nun too.
I fucking love James Wan. I
James
can't
Wan is
say
great,
enough
like-
about Malignant. I know you. I don't know if you were the biggest fan
didn't
of
like it. I know, we
I
talked about
fucking
that.
love that movie.
I thought it was kind of funny. I found
That's the
myself
thing,
laughing.
though. It is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like, but the idea of it, and then the way that like part way through it turns into a balls out like action sequence in
I
the
think
middle,
that's
like
why I
it comes out of
laughed.
nowhere, and it was filmed so well. Like when the fucking Gabriel's just hacking the shit and killing all those policemen. It's like, where the fuck did this come from? And right after the jail sequence where he kills all the women in the jail cell, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like a bad
That movie is
fever dream.
balls out fucking crazy, and I love it. I don't know if it's a horror movie though. Is that a horror movie?
I don't know, but is it bad that I laughed like throughout that most of that movie?
Well, it is kind of funny. Like she's tearing open the back of her head while everyone's fucking losing their minds, and then just starts ripping women to shreds. The ones that were just bullying her and treating her like shit. But I was thinking because again I was thinking about the whole like horror movie thing. I think some of our favorite horror movies are the ones that kind of fucked us up a little bit because that's what they're supposed to do. In high school, the movie that did that for me was Event Horizon. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Okay.
That movie was like next level when I watched that when I was maybe 13. And that movie freaked the shit out of me.
Did it?
Yeah, like the whole yeah, I love sci-fi, and that was like I was like, oh, this is like a cool sci-fi setting and all this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, people in hell are torturing, butchering, and eating each other. This is pretty fucked up. Yeah, that had a pretty profound effect. But
I'm trying to think
some
of
of the
anything when I was a
best horror
kid had a
movies, like-
profound effect.
if you watch a movie and it makes you think twice about doing something, like Jaws, they say is the movie that made you not want to go into the water. There's a couple like The Edge made me never want to go into the woods.
Yeah,
I don't know if either of you have seen
Yeah.
The
I've
Edge.
seen that. I mean,
Yeah,
I think for me, if I had to pick a movie that I would never watch it again, and I was way too young to watch it, and it just disturbed me, and if you guys have seen it, you would probably agree, is I Spit on Your Grave. That was
Never
way
seen it,
too
but
heavy.
I've watched the brutality breakdown of it, and yeah, that's fucked.
So I watched that way too young, right? And like the older one showed so much. I was so scarred by that. Like it's not even like
Yeah, that's-
horror
that's
movie
some really
scarred.
messed
I
up
was
shit.
just I can't watch anything that has any of that depicted in it. Like what was the other one? Is it Last House? Not Last House on the Left. Is that There was a huge rape scene in it, and I couldn't stand it.
And Last House on the Left, yeah.
Yeah, and same with The Hills Have Eyes. I can't deal with that kind of shit. Like, it's just
Yeah,
too much. It's just, you
that's
don't need
fucked.
it. So I would say that was probably the most disturbing. I wouldn't say it scared me, but it certainly, it certainly was heavy.
The Hills Have Eyes is definitely disturbing. Disturbing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is disturbing.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Then, yeah, no.
And then
I don't know.
Sinister.
That's the kind of shit
Sinister
that...
sticks in my head as well. And then what's the one when it's the couple and they knock on the door? It's the three of them in the mask. The Strangers.
Oh, Strangers.
Oh,
I don't like that,
That
one.
was
Disturbs the
fucking
crap
creepy.
out of me. Really creepy.
Just that line. Why us? Because you were home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How
like
fucked is that?
I could only watch it once.
Yeah, the home
because it
invasion
disturbed me.
is to me the scariest of the horror movies. Like when someone comes into your home and makes you powerless.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary
So those are
to
like
me. That's like my worst fear.
Yeah.
Which is why if anyone ever tries to come into my home, I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Yeah, I agree with you.
No questions asked.
I sleep with a samurai
Just
sword
come
by
through
my
the door,
bed.
bang!
So I would just slice them in half like Kill Bill style.
I have a Bowie knife in my sock drawer, a hatchet in my I have a
Conan.
Bowie knife in my underwear drawer, a hatchet in my sock drawer. I'm ready to
You're
go.
ready to go.
Like,
you got Conan's sword.
I got the Conan sword, but it's in storage.
Oh,
But yeah, and I always have. I kept the biscuit backpack in the back of my truck for a good 3 weeks, kind of safety in my head, knowing if anyone fucks with me, I got a couple baseball bats in the back, and just
yeah.
You're
that
like the
home
backpack
invasion
guy.
shit,
I'm the
especially being
backpack
right here.
guy.
yeah.
No.
I mean it's scary because most of the really creepy home invasion movies happen to either someone on vacation in a house out in the woods or people who live rurally because no one can hear you scream out in the woods.
Did you guys
Especially if you're fighting a pack of 7 wolves.
Did you guys ever watch much Criminal Minds at all?
I can't watch that shit.
Okay, well, speaking of what we're on a tangent about right now, there was an episode in Criminal Minds called The Fox. And it was basically a murderer that each time the family was about to go on vacation, he would break into their home, make them all have dinner with dinner together with him all tied up, and then he would take them one by one to the basement, kill them, and leave the husband for last, saying this is what happens when the husband of the family isn't strong. So he could torture this family for a whole week because people thought they were on vacation. That's what reminded me when you said that. But that whole episode was
Yep.
just so disturbing to me for that very reason.
Well, this actually fits into because I started writing this and I never actually told you about it, but when we were talking about pitches last podcast, I had a home invasion thing that I'm writing, and I can pitch this to you now.
Ooh.
And it's a home invasion pitch where a guy is watching this kid sleep, and he closes the door and leaves this bloody handprint on the door, and then he goes into the garage and he's got these two people tied up. And he starts to just kind of antagonize them about the history of home invasions and the percentages and how many are reported and how many they never know what really happened. And he's just really we lost her.
No, she's still there.
She's still there? Can you
I'm
hear
still
us?
here.
Okay. So this guy is just fucking with this couple and really. And they're gagged; they can't say anything while he's rattling off, and then takes their gags off to talk to them, and they start begging for their lives and saying all the things that they'll do and that they're sorry, that, and he ends up killing these two people. And in the morning, he's sitting on the couch and he's cleaned the whole house, and the little boy that was sleeping in the room comes around the corner and sees this guy sitting on the couch and just goes, "Oh, hi, Dad."
Oh.
Comes over.
I like
And
it.
sits with him, and you realize that the couple were trying to break into his house. And when he caught these people breaking into his house, he butchered them and killed them, hid the body, cleaned the house so nobody knew. And later on, he's doing dishes
Dude,
by the
I
window,
love it.
and his wife comes home from being away for a little while, and starts talking to him. She's like, "Oh, did you hear what happened on the news?" And he's like, "No, what happened?" And he's like, "Oh, well, these people were declared missing, and when this couple were declared missing, and when the police went into their home, found out that they had all these what are they called when people take stuff
Trophies?
from a victim?
Trophies.
What's that?
Trophies.
Trophies.
Yeah.
They found all these trophies from all these murder scenes that this couple would go into people's houses and kill the parents and make the kids watch and then leave the kids alive. And this guy didn't know that these people were those killers. He just killed them because they broke into his house. And he kind of realizes, like, oh, okay,
I love it.
that's cool.
That's great. I love
He
that
feels
twist,
no
man.
less guilt. Yeah, he realizes
No,
that they
no.
were murderers, they were sick fucks, but he's like, that doesn't really change how I feel because I was going to kill them anyway because they came into my house and now they're fucking dead.
Oh, you
And
gotta go
the
with
last
that.
line is just him looking
I
out the
like
window
it.
going, well, maybe they broke into the wrong house. And then it just cuts to black.
Oh, I love that.
So you
I
wanna film
love
that?
it. I love it. Sign me up. I want to be in this.
Done. I already wrote it. Just needs some polish.
That's it. We gotta pick something, plan it out, write it out, and do it.
Done. I see. I'm down.
I'm down.
I would be filming yesterday.
There's a lot of like film festivals to put these things in too. Honestly, I think it would have a lot of footing.
That's what I'd like to do. I mean, yeah, throwing things on YouTube and hoping for the best is one thing, but I would rather make something to throw into a festival. I mean, usually festivals have parameters that you have to make things fit into, and it has to be made for the festival and only the festival. I keep shaking the thing. Sorry. I'd still want to
Excited.
do it because I want to work on something.
Agreed.
Nothing to me is more like kind of fulfilling to that artist nerd in me than just being on set and working on something. It doesn't even need to be good. Half the stuff I've done hasn't even seen the light of day. It just feels good to do that. Like being on set it satisfies this hunger that nothing else satisfies.
It's true, and that's what keeps you coming back for it. It's your scene partner. It's being there. It's creating something. It doesn't mean it has to be seen. It doesn't mean that it has to go anywhere. But it's creating it. It's working with the people around you, and you're just proud of it.
I say we do that one. You just don't.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Again, you need
Let's develop and do it.
all you need. You need two people to play the couple. You need the main guy. And you need a simple like wife character at the end and a kid. I mean, I could probably coax Max into saying a couple of lines or whatever. And that's what, a 5-minute, 10-minute film? Mm-hmm. It's got that dark twist that people will love.
See,
I don't know. I can't remember what the title of it was. I don't have my phone. My phone's,
I like it.
my phone's TikToking live
It's
right
over
now.
there.
Sorry, guys. I gotta go. Sorry, 4 people that are watching. I'll be right back. I gotta find something out. Check us out on the Double D Podcast on Spotify. If you don't, I will come to your house and I will eat your cat. That'll get a couple of likes. All right, let me go back here because I didn't write it that long ago.
Okay, while he's looking that up, I'll have to ask you a question. I'm going to throw a name out to you. Shelley Bonnyman.
I don't know that name.
You don't know that name?
No.
All right.
Now you got to tell me who that is.
Well, she's a mutual friend on Facebook, so
Oh.
lives in Beaton.
Oh. No, I don't know. Why, you want to hook up?
Huh?
Why, you want to hook up?
Oh,
No, I know. Well, I noticed she was like your friend on Facebook, and I played hockey with her husband like right out of high school for like we're really good friends. Anyways, I'm good friends with her husband. And you live down
And we're
Beaton
mutual,
or Allison or
and she's a friend of mine.
I'm pretty sure it said yeah,
What's the last name, hun?
Bonnyman.
No, I don't know. I only know two Shelleys. So sadly, I don't know who that is.
Alrighty then.
Hey, we're back, you fuckers. That was 5 people watching. You guys waited? Aw. If only there were 50 of you, I might take the outer layer off.
Is this gonna show?
It might show.
Closer,
Is that
sexy?
closer.
Is that Sexy Biscuit? That is Sexy Biscuit.
I just see Sexy Biscuit right there. That's all I can see.
You have 4 mutual friends. Sexy Biscuit,
Sexy Biscuit.
Cody Nicholson,
Oh,
Gino, and Shelley Bonnyman.
I don't know. Maybe send it to me afterwards, and then I can look better. This is going to be really embarrassing if this person hears it, and I'm like, no, I have no idea who the fuck that is.
Do you know any Bonnymans?
No.
You might know our kids.
No.
Look, that's like that's all right.
That's Lisa.
And that's
in her vampire outfit.
4 mutual friends.
Right. And which one is it you're interested in?
No, that's
Who is this is?
this. Well, I played her husband. I played hockey with right out of high school for forever.
Ooh.
Keith.
He's a big fucker, isn't he?
He worked at Honda for a long
Okay.
time. He's retired now.
Can you
Nice.
spell the last name?
Bonnnyman.
Bonneman. Oh,
Sorry to throw all your shit on the internet.
Shelley Keogh. Yes.
Okay, well, that's her maiden name.
Well, I know her as Shelley Keogh. Yes. Okay, so you have to go. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. So I know Shelley. She used to work at the
All
Whistle
right.
Stop in Beaton.
Oh, okay. You worked at the Whistle Stop?
No, I used to we used to have dinner there all the time.
Ah,
So I knew her because she was a
Ah.
waitress there, and
Yeah.
she just loved my son, and my son loved her. So yeah, sorry, I know Shelley Keogh.
6 degrees
all right.
of separation.
Interesting.
We have
Anyways,
solved
so
said
I have
mystery.
known her like since out of high school for a long time. So
Oh, wow.
She's
her
wonderful.
husband.
She's a wonderful person, that's for sure.
yeah.
I'm so glad we figured this out.
I was starting to wonder if it was, the alcohol taking us down
Down a bad road.
a bad road. Oh man, speaking of bad roads, I got a video. I got the video. I got to upload it later. Oh, you've never been here,
No.
but Doug's house has a kind of a wraparound driveway, and then this like path, right?
Okay.
A grass path, not big enough for a vehicle. And we're here the other day doing episode 9 of the podcast, and Chris has to go pick up his girlfriend from the Witch Walk up over in Coldwater, and he's high as shit. And he starts driving down the path instead of the driveway. And me and Doug are both sitting on the porch like, a couple
Driving into the woods.
old country hillbillies like, what that dumb fucker doing over there? We just see the lights going down the path and the car slows down. And he's like, oh, what's happening? We're watching him for about a minute and a half, just driving down a walking path before realizing, oh shit.
Into the woods towards a swamp.
Oh no.
So moral of the story is, don't smoke a lot of pot. And then drive.
That would probably be me without the pot, just trying to find my way in the dark.
Well, that's the thing. If people can eventually find their way, even though they're roasted on pot and delicious brookies, you can find your way here and probably not drive up that path. Worst drivers have come here. That's where I was going with
I don't know. That
You're
feels.
probably like, why the fuck are you telling this story? It has nothing to do with nothing.
I don't know. That feels like a challenge to me.
It is a challenge.
The challenge is to develop that story and get it going. Get it
I just
Yeah, I
okay,
agree.
fuck you,
I
TikTok
agree.
again. I found it. It's actually because I was trying to think of what the title was. The title is Rockabye.
Ooh.
Rockabye Baby. Because the killers are known as the Rockabye Killers because they leave the kids alive. Or they leave one kid alive and they kill the rest of the family.
I love it.
And yeah, they're sick fucks. And again, as you're watching it as the audience, you're like, oh, these poor people. Oh no. And then you realize what pieces of shit they are. And then you get a tone shift. And then when you rewatch it, you get a whole different feeling. That's the thing I love. I love to watch something and you have, the first time you watch it is the only time you watch it with a certain feel. And every following time when you perceive everything completely different than the first time. I love that kind of shit.
It's almost like the first Saw. Once you find out that it's him on the floor afterwards.
In Saw?
It just
Oh yeah,
completely
it's
shifts
John Kramer the whole
entire
time.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never watched Saw.
Well,
I
here's
have no
the
interest
thing.
in watching.
Here's the thing, though. As much as it's been depicted as like gore porn over the years, its beginnings are the stuff of movie making,
Right.
like
Yeah.
legend, like the kind of shit that so many people try to do what Saw did and they don't succeed. Saw was made by a couple of guys that didn't have the money, they didn't have the clout, they didn't have the power, and they put something together and they drew in enough talent and enough interest that they got to make the movie they wanted to make, and it blew up into this massive franchise that, yes, got a little drunk here, sorry, got a little gore porny.
So Rockabye could be like this.
Rockabye could be whatever we want it to be. Ultimately, I've always wanted to write a story about a home invasion where you think that this guy who's committing this heinous act is the invader, but it's actually a person defending their home.
I just hope
idea
nobody
that
hears
you
this
think
and
that-
runs with your story. That's all.
No one's going to hear this. This is the Double D podcast. The only people listening to this are people who have been on it, and people who are like my wife and 3 of my friends.
It's really just for us to listen to it the next day.
I do listen to it the next day, and that's like, I was driving home today, and I'm listening to the podcast in the car, laughing my ass off, and she's like, "You realize you laughed hardest at your own jokes?" I'm like, "I know, because they're fucking
I love
hilarious."
myself. I just love myself.
Well, that's why he's Mr. Vane.
Yeah, we all have nicknames. Dr. Sleep, I'm Mr. Vane, and Chris is the Rambling Man.
The Rambling Man. I wonder.
I really want to put together, or at least try to find it, where when he goes on his longest ramble, see if we can play Rambling Man over it in its entirety before he stops. And then that can be a video. We're like, the next time he rambles, we'll just sit there and listen. Won't contribute, won't throw him off. We'll look at each other and we'll both know what we're doing. And we know that there's going to be a video later where Rambling Man will play from beginning to end before he stops. I got to find out how long Rambling Man is. We'll do it.
I need a nickname.
We're live
I wonder
right
what
now.
my nickname would be. I don't know. I feel like that's like a badge of honor that needs to be earned. I have to be like super annoying
it has
for a
to
while.
have something to do with how you are on the podcast or how you are on set. Because Chris is the Rambling Man because he fucking rambles on the podcast and just in life in general. Doug is Dr. Sleep because, what was it, podcast 8? Number 8.
When Chris was rambling.
No, yeah, Chris was rambling at one point, and Doug was fucking tired. And Chris would not stop talking about whatever it was he was talking about.
I was
And
yawning.
Doug, the glasses came off, and he's sitting there. His eyes are red as shit, and you can tell he wants to go to bed. He's so tired, and Chris just keeps nattering on, and I'm looking at him, and I say, "Hey, Doug, do you want to cut this one off and maybe do another one, or do you want to keep going?" And he just looks at me all tired. He's like, "Why don't we finish this one?" And it's like, "That's your out, Doug. That's
You
your
need
out
those glasses,
to
Doug,
end this, and then
that
we
make
just
you
don't
look like
start
you're
the next
awake.
Yes, yeah, the eyeball glasses.
one." Yeah. No one can tell how tired or high I am, or drunk. That's why I covered my eyes. What? No. Come on, do what I want. There you go. We're live again. Not for long, but yeah. So I don't know. we'll have to. I don't know. It has to be something to do with something scary. I don't want to use the word horror, but horror baby. Look, no. I don't know.
It's something. Something will come along. and
Something will
it'll
come
be
along,
it.
and it'll make sense.
Yeah.
Can't, like, it's hard to do
Yeah,
it
you
on the
can't
spot.
do it on the spot. It has to be organic.
Yeah, organic.
You could be scary spice.
Oh my god. Well, I definitely enjoy talking with you guys in general. Talking about horror is definitely awesome, but talking to you guys in general is awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're always looking for guests, and I mean, I pitched an idea to Doug. I was like, you know what we should do for our 20th episode? We should do a 4-hour podcast and have like a bunch of different guests throughout the podcast. Be watching movies in the back.
I must have been sleeping when you pitched that.
No, that's why they call you Dr. Sleep. And it wouldn't just be like this stationary thing. We would like be watching a movie in the background, or it would just be an extravaganza. Make it a Saturday.
Throw something on the.
What was that
DVD.
show
You
that
got
people
that
were-
over there. We can just be.
What was that show when they were
What's that?
critiquing movies in the background and you could see them in the seats? Oh, what was that?
Is that the one where they're all drunk?
No.
Drunk movie review? Or was it Beavis and Butthead?
No, it was like they were like sci-fi characters and one guy, and they were watching a movie, and you could see the back of them, and you can see the movie theater in the movie, and they're making fun of the movie or critiquing it. What were they?
I don't know what that is, but I do know what you're talking about. I do remember that.
Yeah, now it's gonna bug me. I mean,
And we could totally do that. It'd be like we could put on a movie for each other, and it's like we would naturally be talking shit and ripping the thing down the whole time. But
yeah, but could you
yeah,
imagine if
that
it
would
was
be
like
fun too, doing like a live
the new
critique
Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
of a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Oh. Yeah, like that Flower Moon. It's 3.5 hours. Can you imagine that? You said you want to do a
Oh.
4-hour
it
special.
3.5
That's
It is,
Oh,
man.
shit.
Scorsese's bold as fuck. But apparently it's good. I've watched a couple of reviews, and apparently it's a great movie.
my
Scorsese
bladder
doesn't
can't
make
hold
bad
that much. I have to go to the bathroom after an hour.
Yeah, I
You need the pause button.
that's a movie where you gotta, and it's a Scorsese one. You gotta be paying attention. That's a long time to ask me to pay attention.
Uh-huh.
Like when they released The Hateful Eight,
Yeah.
which to me is a fantastic long movie. You're gonna make a long movie, it's got to be like that. The conversations are on point. It moves fast. It's fucked up. It has that Tarantino thing where the violence builds up and then the violence happens so quickly and so viscerally that like it just sticks with you. But they did something with it
See,
where
I
they
didn't
released
like
it in
that
chapters. You didn't like it?
No,
You're allowed
I
to not
became
like
Dr.
stuff, but-
Sleep.
Damn, I love
was
that
like
movie.
Doug, I was falling asleep at the beginning. Like, I don't get me wrong, the dialogue is amazing. It's well written. I love hearing Kurt Russell and Samuel L. Jackson and like go back and forth. I love that. But I was like, holy crap, how long is this? Like, where are they going?
It's long.
It's long. You know, like by the time they get to the cabin, I'm like falling asleep, looking at my watch, going, this is fantastic dialogue, but I'm bored as fuck. Maybe I'm so used to faster movies now.
Well, what my point was is that they did something with it on Netflix where they divided it into 4 chapters.
Oh.
So you could divide it up and watch it in 4 chunks where you'd be like, okay, I'm going to watch chapter 1 the first night, and you split it up so that it's a little easier to digest because it was about a 3.5 hour movie.
The
wasn't it?
Hateful Eight?
The Hateful Eight
They
was long.
broke that up, really?
They did, and I don't know if it's still on there like that, but at one point I was like, oh, Hateful Eight's on Netflix, and I was like, 4 episodes? What the fuck is this? And I clicked on it, and they did it like that because, again, Tarantino movies can be a little tough to digest, and movies like Kill Bill, he split into 2, because
Right.
Kill Bill was originally about a 4-hour movie. And
It was
He
brilliant.
did the right thing there. And
See, I
cut it
can
up.
watch that one.
Hateful Eight is one thing that happens. Kill Bill is spread over years. You couldn't really do that.
No, that's true.
I'd say give it some time, let it rest, and maybe when you're ready, you give it another try.
I'll give it another try. It didn't help that
And
I
I
watched
think-
it
I
at like
think
9
you would
o'clock at
enjoy it.
night.
Yeah, no, that is not okay, the kids are finally in bed. I've got 20 minutes to myself before I start falling asleep. No, that's got to be at like, the kid's gone for the day. It's the weekend. I start at 2 in the afternoon. That's how you
When
watch
does
that.
that ever happen?
It doesn't. You have to make it happen.
I was gonna say it doesn't. I'd have to like pretend I was kidnapped. Then I could go watch The Hateful Eight.
That would be good. You could dress up.
Just leave a ransom note, but I'm actually watching movies. It's not a bad idea.
Hey, Kurt Russell plays the second best bounty hunter I've ever seen on film.
Yeah. He's awesome.
First being Flintlock.
That's
yeah,
true.
next to that.
Flintlock's got some. I've come up with some great backstory for Flintlock, man. Let me tell you.
I'm sad I didn't get to see Flintlock. Not gonna lie.
Me
You
too.
will. I'm building this incredible world.
He got into a flash of that. Chris put together a bunch of those shots.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the well, you were in the trailer.
Yeah,
On the Argo.
yeah, a flash, real quick.
Yeah.
Like if you blink.
Oh, okay.
I use that as I re-edited the Percy scene, and then I told Chris we should do, if we're going to do 3-minute segments of the show, we should have a cold open every episode where it's just some quick shot of like, bow, 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 something. So I use that scene as the cold open of the Percy episode. It's like saying the name of the show,
Yeah.
and then the title, the first episode is called this, and then it goes into the episode. And it was just you and me on the Argo. Pow, 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 pow. And I made it a little bit blurry, like I set it up so you can see it, but it's also kind of, it hides how shitty the quality was. Because I think that was with the old camera. Because when you look
I don't remember.
when you look at the quality of that, and then the quality of the Percy scene, it's such a huge jump. It's like distracting. I don't know if it's because we were moving, because he was on the trailer, or if because it was the old camera, but you can really see the difference in the quality.
Or it was his new camera, but he just hadn't figured out the settings on it yet.
It might be. Wait, hold on. I'll put you fuckers on pause. Oh, here it is. I already have it open. So watch this. Hold on. This is the original cut. Like, look at the quality. There you are. There's Flintlock. Just unleashing hell.
You have to play again.
And then watch the cut to
Yeah, yeah,
look
yeah.
how different that looks.
Yeah, yeah.
You what?
Such a badass. Sorry, that's why they call me Mr. Vane. I'm sitting there editing video of myself, and that's like, what you doing? Nothing. Well, you smiling?
Loving myself.
You watching porn? Like, kind of. I'm watching
Hey,
what gets me
self-love.
excited. Myself. Like, have you ever watched a celebrity or an actor, and they're talking about like, oh yeah, I don't watch my own movies. I go to set, and then I go to the award show, and the movie comes out, and everyone loves me, but I don't sit and watch it. I'm like, I watch my shit over and over and over again, and I fucking love it. I'm the first one to like and subscribe. Maybe that makes me a vain asshole, but that's the only way I'm gonna learn to get better at what I'm doing.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's a Johnny Depp. He doesn't watch any of his... Well, I don't know. I don't know if they just say that so they seem like I don't watch my own stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure they do. They probably get drunk off of peanut butter whiskey and sit there and watch themselves in the dark. Pretty 100% sure they do.
All right, we're in.
We're good. I feel
That's
less
what you're
bad
doing
about
tonight.
myself.
I know it is.
I'll probably, I'll go home and I'll curl up in bed and just be like quietly watching my own shit. I've been bugging Chris. I've been like elbowing Chris under the table for the last 4 or 5 months. Be like, hey, are you ever gonna finish editing those other 2 scenes we filmed? He's just like, fucking, I'm working on this. I'm like, hey, those actors that showed up and helped us out, they'd love to see what we filmed.
Yeah.
They were all telling their friends about this cool show they did in this great scene. Do it for them, eh? Not for me.
Not for me.
For them. And I think I finally got him to do it.
Well, that's good. So you'll have to send that to me after.
I will. It's the scene where I almost died. Not because Doug was going to kill me, but because one of the other actresses I worked with almost took me out at the neck with a machete. I want the raw footage of that one, man. There's this scene where I probably told you about. Did I tell you about this?
No, I don't think you did.
Doug was like the on-set choreography safety guy, and he had to leave set. And the shot was this couple coming out of a shed at me, one with a crowbar, one with a machete. I deflect the crowbar, then I go to deflect the machete. And the first time she came out, it bit into the bat. I was deflecting it, and it chopped into the bat and took a chunk out of it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if I hadn't deflected that, the amount of force,
Oh my gosh.
it was going for me.
It's going for his juggler.
Yeah, and that's how it all could have ended.
See,
at least it would have been on film.
What Doug didn't tell you is he left purposely.
I figured. I mean, technically, we're in the hills of Moonstone, so
He wanted the lead role. Had to get rid of the competition.
That's right.
there's only room for one bounty hunter in this show.
Biscuit kept taking up all the scene. Always in front of the fucking camera you were.
Well, that's because I showed up to actually film my scenes. Sometimes 2 in one day.
All the scenes were filmed here at my house. I was here every day.
All the best stuff was filmed here.
And I still didn't. I'm still left on the cutting room floor.
I tried to get you in early. I wrote all kinds of scenes for you.
I didn't
I
even
wrote
make
the
it
one
here,
where you got to
guys.
punch me in the gut.
I was just a concept. So I was a cool
You were
concept.
this close.
This
You were stopped by a health concern.
Yeah.
Health
a very
concern,
big
and then
health
episode
concern
3,
that we
the
were. Yeah. Completely valid. Poor Chris.
you know what? We'll figure out a way. We'll still film that scene because I love the idea of flashback sequences. And I mean, it's just action. We love shooting action as a concept stuff anyway. It's the most fun to shoot. And Chris has to do all the post-production stuff. So that's awesome too.
I'm really into this short
Fix it in post.
story that you have.
That'd be an Easter egg. Well,
Shit,
Well.
we're past 2 hours here.
okay. One final question. It, the new It or the Tim Curry It?
I love Bill Skarsgård as It. So I would say the
a good
new
one.
It. I love Tim Curry. He's fantastic and he was great for the 80s It. But to me, Bill Skarsgård is Pennywise.
Kills it.
He
yeah.
just kills it. The guy can make his face do all that. That's pretty damn talented. And I don't know. I
That's
really
crazy.
enjoyed the newer It. They did a great job with it. He's way more
I
menacing.
love the whole Skarsgård family.
Yeah.
Like it's
I love
that's
all of
such
them.
a talented family. Yeah.
All of them. Yeah, they're all great. Did you guys
Even that
ever
dude on
see?
Vikings,
Yeah, the guy who plays Loki, he's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Hiddleston.
No, the guy who plays Loki on Vikings.
Oh, sorry.
He's a Skarsgård.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that. I watched him in Chernobyl though, and he was fantastic in Chernobyl.
I haven't seen Chernobyl. That's on my list.
That's a good one.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start the House of Usher soon as well because I love Edgar Allan Poe, and I love Mike Flanagan. So that's gonna be my next watch.
Well, I think the showrunner from Chernobyl is the guy that did Last of Us.
Oh,
I know somebody who worked on Chernobyl ended up doing Last of Us for HBO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the director or the showrunner, but yeah, there was some connection there. And it was like, oh, they're actually taking it seriously. It's not going to suck. They're not going to, like, fuck it up. So, yeah, that was because I knew Chernobyl was a very well-executed show.
well, if you love the Skarsgård family, you'll love Chernobyl. And the other main actor in there, I forget his name, it escapes me right now. But really, really good actor. Good series.
Again, it's on my list. I don't know if I have access to HBO anymore, but I'll find a way.
Find a way. When there's a will, there's a way.
It's always a way.
If it's out there, I'll find it.
Well, I appreciate
All
you
right.
guys having me
Well-
on. I don't want to put Dr. Sleep to sleep, so
No, you know what? Thanks for coming on our 10th episode. And if there's one thing I like talking about is horror movies, and people that know about horror movies know even more than I do. It's awesome. It's awesome to listen to your insight on them. And you've met so many cool people too. That's great.
well,
Like me.
thank you
now.
guys. You guys are a pleasure for sure. I would love to be on it anytime.
And
I
we'll
could
have
talk
to,
there all night.
Awesome. And we'll get Dan to get this little what's it called? The
Rockabye.
rockabye going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's crank that up. Yeah,
I think it'll
sounds
be
good.
fun. Yeah. That's a plan. It started here.
Did start here.
All
We're
right.
birthing it right now.
Well, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Buy a truck.
Move up north. Get someone pregnant.
All right.
You too. Thanks again.
Good night.
To all the fellas, don't get
Remember to
caught
keep your
slipping.
thing open so it's
Cause
downloading.
in 9 months,
God.
shorty gonna be tripping. Check. Somebody gonna get pregnant. Somebody gonna get pregnant. Somebody gonna get pregnant. Somebody gonna get pregnant. Watch out, you better watch out, cause somebody gonna get pregnant. You better watch out, you better watch out, cause somebody gonna get pregnant.